this video we are going to create a profile for our baluster post, and also we are going to adapt it to our railing which we created last video, and after that we are going to place it in our project. I already placed my railing in my project. I'm going to show you guys, and also I created one simple baluster which we are going to create one more complete and adapt it to our project. So right now I'm just going to show you what are we going to do so far. So if you are going to see the project right now, I adapted my railing in second, third and fourth project. Here I adapt the same railing which we created last class, and I already designed one baluster, but we are going to create one more complete right now, and one more complex better. And also you will see I adapt the railing in my staircase, but I copy paste the railing outside, and after that I add handrail too, because it's for a staircase. But for outside we don't need handrail. So now we are going to create one baluster for our project, and also we are going to see how does it work, and we are going to adapt it to our project. And also I will go and show you guys how to draft your railing if you sorry, if you don't know how to draft it in which position. So for creating your baluster profile, you need to go to the file, new and family. After that you need to go to your family templates, find the metric baluster post and open your file. First we are going to change the unit to meter, and after that I'm going to change the scale so my number will be alright. Here we are already have one parameter, but we are going to create our own parameter because we are going to have, for example, base, and maybe we are going to have top as well. So first step is to go to the ref level, and here we are going to adapt or create one or two reference plane by creating offset 5 centimeter and pick line. We are going to create our reference plane by using the pick lines. After that we are going to dimensions, use the same situation which we did it for our top rail, using the equal. I'm going to change my scale here as well, and after that one total. Then you need to lock your total because we are going to create parameter for that. Since you created this situation and all of your dimensions is set, we are going to create a parameter for them. For example, this one supposed to be length, just a shortcut is enough. I'm just going to choose L, and here width I'm just going to choose W as a width. If you want to check it's working or not, you can go to family types and check the number and change it. It's, for example, it's already here, length and width. The next step is to also draft and create our parameter for the, for example, left elevation. We are going to the left elevation and start creating our parameter here. So first we need to go create reference plane again. I'm going to draft one reference plane here, and I'm going to draft one here. After that we need to go change the dimension of 1 meter to create it more, because we are going to have base and our railing supposed to be 1.10 centimeter, so it's supposed to be 110 centimeters. So in overall we need to have 10 centimeter. I'm going to change it here. We need to find it, okay, and I will change it to 1.1, apply. So it's going to be there. After that I'm going to, it's alright, this one we can bring it up, or even we can delete it if you want to have a top or no, it's up to us. We can create top too. So this is the total length we are supposed to total height we are supposed to work. After that we are going to create base parameter, and After creating your dimension, you will go to the parameter here, choose the, for example, base. Okay, and we are going to create one more, for example, from here to here maybe. Lock, and we are going to choose body. Okay, and now we are going to create top. So we are going to have error because it says you cannot connect it to your baluster height. So for fixing this problem, we are going to delete this one, and also or we can use the Ctrl Z to go back to create the parameter here again. And I hope here the body didn't create. Yes, so we can go here, change it to the body again, and after that we need to go consider the baluster height for more, for example for 1.2 as a default. So we need to create our top here, but before that I'm just going to here to choose 10 centimeter and create my third parameter as a top here. We are going to have top, body, and base. Later on we can manage it. For example, top will be less, body will be more, base will be less. It's going to be manageable and changeable. The next step is to go to the ref line and start creating our shape. Here we are going to have 3D forms instead of annotation or kind of 2D shape because we are creating baluster. It's 3D. I'm going to use extrusion and box. After that, I will draft one box here. The most important step here, we should note that and not forget it. When after drafting your box, before clicking on space, and as you see the lock is here, you need to lock all of your edge so we can manage our shape by length and width later. After that, you click OK, you go back to the left. The second most step and more important, you need to move your arrow until the lock icon will be appear. Move it in a right position to the base, lock it from top and from down. After that, we are going to create again the same box. Extrusion, same location. It depends. If you would like to create the other sort of shape, you can create the other sort of shape, and you can change, for example, your reference plane according to your design. But I prefer to create, for example, extrusion, and after that do my editation with the others element. After you lock your box, you go back to the left and you take the arrow up, lock, bring it up, lock. So it's in the body position. The next is to create one more for top. I'm going to create the same situation, so I will do it fast. I need to find my box. It's here. I will take it up, lock, and lock. So now we created our elements by changing the length. For example, if I come here, if I change my width to 7 centimeter, you will see it's going to change the length. Or for example, width. And if you want to change the length, we can also do that. After you create your parameter and your main shape, it's it's time to create our editation. So I'm going to create, and I can use different elements such as sweep, such as void elements or extrusion. It depends on my design. For now, I'm just going to use void revolve. And the most important right now, we need to note that for creating revolve, we need to consider this line which passed the middle of our box. The name of that is right and left. So we will go to the left and we are going to create void revolve. We are going to choose the name and left and right. Now we are going to create our element. So we are going to create our shape. For example, I will design something like close to Egyptian design in my, in my body. So I will create something like this. It depends on us. For example, we can create something more complex, like creating something like that. And after that, we need to delete these two, create one line here, and after that we are just going to copy paste it several times. So we are going to have the same pattern until we reach here, and then we need to close our shape from outside. That's the important note. When you are creating revolve, you need to close it from outside, not inside. We already worked for our wall too. We know how to do the process. The next step is very important, to create your axis line, and we already know where should we create it, from the center, not from outside, because we need to revolve it from the center. And then you are going to create OK. We can check it in our 3D view. Will create something like this shape. It looks very fantastic. We will go back and we need to, for example, change our body size parameter. We can come here, body, for example, will be 80 or 90 centimeter, apply. So according to that, you need to also change your revolve, because it was according to 70. So I'm just going here, pick this line, CO, and also I need to add this one too. Here we go. So our body is until here. I'm just going to delete this element, it was extra, and also this one. Use the trim, and move it a little bit up. Here we go. We'll click OK. So this is going to be our shape for our body. After that, we are going to create our top. For example, as you will see our top created here, we can create a top element, or for example, we cannot consider the top. If you want to consider the top, we can go here, change the top to 1, and it's going to be here. All of your design, all of your, for example, your creation should be the below of your baluster height. If it won't be the below of your baluster height, after that, when you upload it in our project, we are going to have a visualization problem, because it's not going to consider that. So it's a very, very important note and troubleshooting, which I said now. So now we are going to create one element, maybe here. I will go to create, and I will just use the revolve again. Name, left and right, and create, for example, some sort of box element like that. And after that, for example, I can close it, or I can design it separately. Both of them, it's going to work. So we are going to have this one for our top, and we can go use the same design by using the copy and paste for our base. Just going to copy paste it here and use the cut. Here we go. But we needed to bring it up maybe a little bit. Maybe we can do it now. Yes. So we will check it in our 3D. We created our base and we created our top. For example, you can use this pattern more. by choosing that, use the copy. You can bring it here, for example, as well, and you can use the cut. Instead of creating a new pattern, you can use the same pattern. For example, you create it here as well, and for example, you can create it between your shape as well by using the copy. You can, for example, create it here, but it's better, for example, go and pick one of them, edit, revolve, or we can, for example, create something different. I can just come here, extrusion, name, left and right, and after that I will, for example, create something white but more outside. Use the copy, and we'll close it. So we use the extrusion instead of void revolve, so I'm just going to use the Ctrl X and close my setting. I will go to create, use the void revolve, name, left and right, and I will use the Ctrl V. So it's going to place it in the area which we designed by using a little bit move in our arrow. Here we go. And after that we are going to access line, and I'm just going to create one here. Then we will go to our 3D. We'll see it's something like that. It looks nice actually. Or for example, we can use our element. Maybe it's better to go to the left, edit, and take it inside more. And use the revolve. Or we can even create it totally inside by just bring it inside. It's going to create the void from inside, like this. So we can have this sort of design, or we can delete it. For me it looks nice, so I'm just going with it. The next step, so we will review what was important here. We created our top, base and body. The dimension is alright. We can change it from the length. We can change it with the width from the top view if we are going to change it, but we need to also consider how open we are going to create our void element. If for example you create your length bigger than your void, you need to consider that it's not going to support it, or it's going to change the shape of your design. Also, we can change the size of the body, top, base by going here, and we need to know that all of our element, top, body, base should be under our baluster height. So you need to consider that first to change your baluster height up, and after that design your elements underneath of that. After you creating your shape, it's time to change the material. So simply we go to our 3D view, and I'm just going to change my material by creating new material. So we are going to create a new material, for example rename P1 like profile 1, and I will use metal black and metal bronze. So for my main elements, or for my base, I'm going to use bronze. I will prefer use the bronze, so I will go to metal, open the arrow, we will see bronze here. Then I will consider the use appearance graphic, and here we go for the top as well. By clicking tab you can choose your shape. you shouldn't choose your void, because we don't need to give the material to the void and it's not going to work. So you need to click on tab until you select your shape which you created. After that, we are going here to rename the second material P2, and we are going to choose the material metal black. So this one looks aluminium, also looks nice, so I'm just going with aluminium. Use the appearance render, and here we go. After you finish your design, you need to save it. Ctrl S, profile for main project. Here we go. Then we are going to upload it in our project. So we need to find our project here. If your project is not here, it's alright. You can go to your main project. If your project wasn't in the list, you are going to your main project. You need to go to the insert tab and use the load family. So we are going to choose profile for main project, open. The next step is to pick your railing. Go to your edit type, baluster placement, and instead of, for example, I will use for my start point, start corner end, I will use it for my pattern. So I'm just going here, use profile for main project, apply. It should work perfectly with no problem. As you will see, everything works perfectly. So for example, we need to consider some sort of elements, such as go to here and choose the base from the host, because we consider 1.1 from the host to top rail. So by clicking apply, it's going to work better. It's going to consider it from the floor. For example, some editation here required because our railing passed inside the column, so we need to consider that later. And here, if you will see your top rail is not in a good position, you need to change it. You can go here and change it, for example, for 1.3, apply, and or less 1.2, and it's going to place. Or for example, we need to consider more, but I need to use the dimension to how much up we need to go. So I will come here, use the dimension. So if it doesn't accept, you can set your plane, pick a plane. After that, use your dimension to see how much we need to come up, around 3 centimeter. So I will use top rate for more 3 centimeter, 1.23. Apply, and here we go. We place our top rail in a right position and everything looks fine. If you will check it out here, we created our element, our baluster, alright, and you will see we are going to have the maximum detail as our wish. The next step is to, for example, create your rail, the horizontal rail, if you want to make it smaller or if you want to make it bigger. We are going here, change edit type, or even you can change the position. We know how to create how many we want, okay? But before that, I need to, for example, consider which position I would like to have them. For example, in the middle of our box is the good position, so I will use dimension to see from the base until here. For example, the center, for example here, how long is that? It's around 27 centimeter. For my base, the first one should be in 27 centimeter, and after that we are going for the second one, 41, and the third, 55, 69. So that's it. Also, if you want, we can consider for here as well. So we can go and change it. So I need to write down the number. So I write down the number of the dimensions which we are supposed to consider. I'm just going to pick my railing, go to the railing setting, and here I will start changing the number from, for example, here. The first one is going to be 90, for example, 7 centimeter. After that, we are going to have 181 and 69. 55 and 41. We also need one more, so I will bring it down, change it to 27. And I'm just going to use the same because I want to change it later, which we are going to change, and I will choose the same material. It was wood, or we can, for example, change it to the material which we created. Let's see. For example, we can use the bronze again, profile 1. So I will just go adapt all of them to bronze. Instead of using the wood, we can use all of them like a set material. This is the same bronze which I use for my base. So I change my material here as well, apply, and OK. So we will see all of them will change and they are coming in the right position. But we need to consider that we need to bring it a little bit up. For example, each of them around, if we can access to our view right, let's see. So for example, each of them, because it's a round, we cannot pick it easily. So I will just, for example, each of them around 4 centimeter, it can comes up. So I will go pick it up again and do this change very fast. It looks alright because we can change it later if we want, or we can, for example, create more, because since we are supposed to change the profile of them, it's not going to be very effective in our design. So the next step is to go and change the profile or the size of that element. So we need to know what is the name of that. I'm going to here to check it again, my circular handrail 30. Okay, for changing the name we need to come here to find that one. So probably it's in handrail type, and after that we need to find it here, my circular handrail type, pipe wall moment, rectangular, no, or maybe here, circular handrail type 30 millimeter. So I'm just going to choose a very small dimension, so it will be like work as a cup or something. it's not going to be very effective in our design, even though we can for example create more of them. So I create more of those rail, and also I change a little bit a shape of my baluster, and I created this sort of railing. I can use this sort of railing in my design right now. So right now we know how to create railing, how to create baluster, and how to change the shape of our railing. The next step is to create or draft it in our project. So for doing that, I'm just going to close these elements here because the family, okay. For doing that, we need to go to our S4 because we created in our S level structure floor. So we need to go to the, for example, S2, and I will check one of them which is wrong so I can fix it too. It was in S3. For example, this one. You can just delete, I will delete this one, and I will go to my railing. For example, this one, the name was railing pipe tree, and after that I will just draft it between my columns, and here we go. Pay attention, S3. If you draft it in A3, it's going to be upper, so you need to change it. Here we go. So we are going to create, and we can use the copy paste to copy it in the other location. It's going to be our baluster right now. Also, if you want to manage your baluster which we created, you can access to the setting very easily by just going to the family again, family tab. You need to open your family tab and you can find it here. It's in the category of, let me show you guys, it's in the category of railing, and after railing, when you open your railing, you will see profile for main project. You will open it again, and by double click the panel will be open. You can, for example, change the length to 12. I hope the revolve which we created will support it. Yes. And for example, we are going to, if you want to be sure, you need to create your revolve much more bigger. For example, what do I mean? It means like that, coming here and change your revolve, edit revolve, you need to pick this line, take it out more, so whenever you want to make your shape bigger, it's going to be more effective. And after that, for example, you might need to do it for this one as well by just choosing these two lines. Maybe we can use match properties, no. So you will just take it out like this. So when you are going to create your length and, for example, your width in a bigger shape, it's going to be support. You don't need to be worried. So we need to, for example, come here again, change the size, for example, length to be 1.5 and width also 1.5, 15 centimeter, and apply and OK. You are going to have a bigger shape, but also you need to consider that now we are going to have a bigger shape, but also we need to make the number of them less. So I'm just going to pick one of them, edit type baluster. Here we are going to change the distance for 0.5 and apply and OK. We are going to have this right now. So now we know how to create our baluster, how to manage our rail top, our rail horizontal, and how to create it for our project, how to adapt it to our project, and how to create parameter for